Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in for the Let's Talk About Real Estate with Area Mays. This is a monthly webinar series hosted by Oak Hill Regional CDC. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our host for this morning, and she will come in her own way. Miss Area Mays.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk About Real Estate. I am excited about what's going on in the real estate business. Things are getting hot. Things are getting better. We got a lot going on in reference to that. There are more houses available on the market. Sellers are more negotiable with accepting offers. So things in real estate, things with real estate is doing really good. The interest rates have not come down, but we are expecting them to come down soon, and that's something to prepare for. So when interest rates come down, and if you bought a house in the past, you can refinance and get a lower rate. And the ones that want to purchase a house will have more purchasing power. So that's something to be looking out for when you get an announcement on news saying that interest rates are going down. That's going to be a very good thing in the real estate market. So look forward to that, especially if you're looking at buying a house in the future. If you're currently looking to purchase a home, now is a great time to purchase a home. We do recommend it. We do recommend that if you have an intent to purchase, go ahead and move forward with it. It's an opportunity because you can always refinance when rates go down. And like I said, there's lots of houses available. Sellers are now beginning to pay buyers' closing costs. You got getting a lot more negotiating power. So buying a home is building generational wealth, and that's what we want everyone to do, is to build generational wealth that can be passed down from one generation to the next generation. That's a great investment in buying a home. And then, of course, if you're looking at selling a home is a very good time to sell houses right now too. There's lots of buyers out looking for higher houses. So if you're interested in selling your house, feel free to give me a call to see what you need to do to prepare to put your house on the market, and we can help you with that. Remember that the key to purchasing a home, if you purchase a home, your interest rate, you really want to, not your interest rate, your credit score. I'm sorry, your credit score. You really want to be sure that you've gotten your credit together, maintaining a good credit score, paying your bills on time. That's one of the key efforts for getting ready to purchase a home. And some people may ask, well, what credit score do I need? I would say probably about a 620 above. There is monies that's available for new home buyers who would want to purchase a home in different locations. But if you got the good credit score, you could possibly get a house with little money coming out of pocket. I just recently closed a deal where a guy bought a house. He didn't have to come out of pocket with the down payment. There was extra funds available for his closing costs. So he actually got into a house with about $1,500. Now, everybody don't get that opportunity, but it just depends on the location where you're going to purchase a home and your situation. But we try to help you as much as possible to get into a house with as less as possible. But however, whenever you're purchasing a home, you always have to have extra money. So don't ever think that I can just buy a house and I don't have to have any money. Yes, you do. You do have to have some money saved up. And then somebody may say, how much do I have to have saved up? I would say save up as much as you can, because you're going to have money for a home inspection. You have to have money for appraisal. If you don't get down payment assistance, you have to have money for down payment for your down payment. So there's a lot involved. So you really want to have that extra money saved up when purchasing a home. But not only that, you're going to have money for moving, for having your utilities turned on. So those are things that you want to have money saved up for when you purchase a home. So I do recommend that you always have some money saved up when you're getting ready to purchase a home. Um, Flipping back to selling a house, when you're getting ready to sell a house, you don't have to have a whole lot of money. You don't have to put a whole lot of money out, but you want to put money into your house to prepare it, to make it look appealing to the next buyer. So of course, you want to fix up, you want to do some upgrades and things like that. So putting money into your house is really, really good because it pays off on the long run. Now, today I didn't have a whole lot to discuss, but I would like to hear from you. If you have questions, I want to see if I can answer your questions. If I can't answer your questions, then I will get you the answers to you. So is there anyone that's online that would like to, that has a question that you may want to ask me and see if we can discuss that, or we'll just leave it open for open discussions.
We have a question from Miss Brenda Wilson. Miss Brenda Wilson, you were able to unmute at this time.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Ms. Mays, I wanted to emphasize again, or have you to emphasize rather, the importance of having that title search insurance. And
Okay.
another one is the home warranty. After you discuss the title search insurance, also talk about having a home warranty and what it means.
Okay, great, great, great. Those are some good questions. So she wanted me to discuss about owner title policy. The benefit of having owner title policy is that that is an insurance that covers you for the lifetime of your that you own a home, you own your title deed. So just say hypothetically that somewhere when the attorney was doing a title search and something was missed, or a previous owner had a judgment, or maybe somebody passed away and they didn't know that they didn't find this grandson or granddaughter or something, someone wanted to come back and take home ownership of your home. What that does, that owner title policy covers you for the length of the time that you own that home. It's a one-time fee. And if you say how much does it cost, it could cost anywhere from 200 to $1,000, but it covers your title. So that means that if anything ever did arise up on your title deed, then you would go back to your closing attorney where you got that title insurance, and that you can go back and say, well, this person has come after me for such and such, and they'll just take care of it. So it covers you for the whole length of time that you own that home. Now, of course, now when you sell that house, you don't have it anymore, but for that whole length of time, it's covered. And the next thing she asked me about is a home warranty. A home warranty is something that I highly recommend. It's a warranty that a new buyer can ask their seller to pay for. A homeowner can have, you can purchase it yourself. It can cost as much as from anywhere from $595 to $800 a month. You can get some a little bit more than that. But what that covers is it covers your mechanicals in your house, your heating, your electric, your plumbing, your air conditioning, your hot water heater, your ceiling fans, anything that's mechanically wrong in your house, it covers even your appliances. So just let me tell you some things that my home warranty has covered with my house. I had an issue with my garage door. They sent someone to repair my garage door. They have replaced my wash machine. I believe they replaced my dryer, and they have replaced my microwave. But what happened is that when those things are being repaired or replaced, I don't have to come out of pocket with a large sum of money. You just pay your deductible, and then they come and take care of the work. However, the deductible is usually about $100, 95 to $100, but that's all you sometimes have to pay. There are some times that you may have to pay a little bit more depending on if it's just, say, hypothetically, if there was an air conditioner or something like that that was really expensive that has to be replaced, then it would you may have to pay a little bit more money for that. And then, of course, the First American Home Warranty, who we had Seth online, he talked about the benefit of even if you had roots that was growing into your water pipes and things like that, into your plumbing issues, then they would take care of those things too. So a home warranty is recommended for anyone that owns a home. And if you're purchasing a home, you want to ask the seller to pay for you a home warranty. So that way, for 1 year, if there's any big ticket repair items, then it's covered on the home warranty and you don't have to come out of pocket with so much money.
Good, good.
Yes. Did anyone else have any questions?
We have another hand raised, Miss Wilson.
I want to be the only one asking the questions, but can you review a little bit about opportunities for financing?
Yes, the opportunity for financing is great. Of course, with financing, purchasing a home, you can get an FHA loan, you can get a conventional loan, and then, of course, if you're a VA, you can get a VA loan. So the difference between of the loans is that the VA means that you're a veteran and you've qualified and you've gotten your eligibility. An FHA is a government-backed loan, and a conventional is not a government-backed loan. It's backed by your bank. So the one is more strenuous is that the VA and FHA is a little bit more stricter, I should say, than conventional, and they require different kinds of appraisal. And then also with those loans, depending on if you qualify, you possibly could qualify for additional financing, which means that the down payment assistance, you could possibly get down payment assistance, and then you combine that with your mortgage loan, and that helps you with the financing of the house and help you not to come out of pocket with as much money. So you got the three different loans that you can get when you're purchasing a home. And it all depends. Credit score is very important. So you want to keep your credit score 620 or more. That's very important as to how you would get getting pre-approved. And then also with your debt to ratio, you want to keep your debt down. If you have credit cards, you want to keep your balances below 30% of the limit that you have, your credit limit.
Mhm.
And I didn't mention the rural housing. I think we talked about that too. The USDA rural housing loan, those are 100% loans for houses in rural housing areas. And so in DeSoto County, you would say, what is rural housing area? Rural housing began like in Nesbit, some areas in Nesbit, some areas in all of Hernando, all of Walls, and then going south of Hernando is rural housing. West of Hernando, southwest of Hernando, like Tunica, those areas, those are rural housing locations that qualify for a 100% loan in those areas. That means that you don't have to come out of pocket with a down payment, but you will have closing costs. And the difference between a down payment and closing costs is that closing costs is the amount of money that it takes to get your loan to the closing table, which it includes the attorney fees, the lender fees, the appraisal fees, the fee for setting up your escrow account, your taxes and insurance. Because with most of your loans, you get your taxes and insurance is going to be included in your payment. And what taxes and insurance go into what is called an escrow account. An escrow account is a savings account where the mortgage company put that portion into that savings account each month so that when the bill is due, your tax bill or your insurance bill is due, then they pull the money out to pay that so you don't have to come out of pocket with it. So initially, like we said, we talked about we talked about three loans. We said FHA conventional, and then we added the VA, and then we added the fourth one was the USDA loan for rural housing areas.
Mhm.
There's another question from Ms. Morgan.
Okay, this is Ernestine Hendricks. I wanted to ask
Oh.
what you just said about Hernando and Walls, Mississippi. Would those be conventional loans, or you still have the VA and government loans in those areas?
Uh, you can actually in those areas in basically any area, you can get either loan that you desire for the U.S. for that area that I mentioned, like DeSoto County. But basically, what I was saying about it, that's a USDA rural area, which means it'll qualify for the USDA rural 100% loan. However, you can still get an FHA and conventional and VA in those areas as well. So the areas that you can get USDA is only in the rural areas.
Okay, then. Well, thank you for that information. I have some in that area that's wanting to purchase a home in
Okay,
Walls, Mississippi.
in Walls, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So Walls will fall under the USDA area. So once they get pre-approved, then the lender will see which loan is going to be the best loan for them, and it should give them options as to which one will be best. If you had a choice between, and I'm just telling you so you know, if the lender give you a choice between an FHA and a USDA, I would recommend the USDA because USDA is pretty close to a conventional loan, which you would have less PMI. So if you fall in those areas that is USDA, I would highly recommend trying to get that loan first.
All right. Thank you so much for that information.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'll pass it on.
Okay, thank you.
Now, are there other areas besides just Walls and Hernando, of course, throughout Mississippi?
Yes,
Mhm.
there are other areas and let me when I said the Walls and Hernando, I really was meaning in DeSoto County. So, you know, in DeSoto County, you got South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch. Then you got Hernando, Nesbitt, Walls, those areas. Well, South Haven, Olive Branch, and South Haven, Olive Branch does not fall under the USDA area. So it goes into the when you go into the southern part of, and then spreading out to the west of Hernando, is where that's when the USDA is for the rural
What
house.
about other
Nesbitt,
areas? Other areas in Mississippi, though?
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yes, yeah. Now when you're going south of, just say Coldwater, all those going south, going toward Jackson, you're in the rural areas.
So Lowndes County.
It should be, uh-huh. If you
Okay.
look up USDA, go to your search USDA rural housing, it'll give you all the location. It's, yes, it's throughout Mississippi. I'm just using this for an example because we're in the DeSoto County area, just to let you know that we are more close to the Tennessee area. So we're in the suburbs. So when you're in the suburbs, like South Haven, that doesn't count. But then when you're getting into Hernando and Nesbitt, then you get into the rural areas. But yes, down going south is USDA.
Can you give us an example of like a home purchase, approximately what the payments would be? Is there, can you give, I know there are calculators you can use, mortgage calculators. Let's say a person earned $60,000 a year and you wanted to purchase this house and it was running 200,000. Is that a feasible?
If you made $60,000 a year, I would think if you made $60,000 a year, you could purchase a home, possibly 200,000. A $200,000 house now is going to have a mortgage payment about probably about 16 to $1,700. So yeah, it's a good possibility. It's going to depend on the debt to ratio. So basically, I can't give you an accurate answer as to how much they would be pre-approved for on that, but I can tell you what a mortgage payment would be and if they may fall in that category, but I can't give you an accurate answer on that.
Okay.
Hmm. But I do know that a $200,000 house, a mortgage payment is probably about 16 to $1,800. And that's when that's what I was mentioning, that when the interest rates drop down, then of course that would cause that mortgage payment to be much lesser. So that's something that we want to be on the lookout, is for interest rates dropping down. We've had a lot of discussions, but we haven't had a lot of rate dropping this year, to be honest with you. So we haven't felt the ease yet, but it's coming. I believe it's coming.
Are you familiar with the Blight program? The
The
one where
blight.
the Blight program? Well, it may not be called the Blight program, but Mississippi Home Corps, they have funding that they will loan to contractors to build houses on what used to be dilapidated properties.
Hmm.
And then they will identify potential home buyers, and those home buyers will be essentially pre-approved and they will build a house for them. It's through Mississippi Home Corps.
Okay. Well, no, I'm not
Are you
familiar with
familiar
that.
with any
That may be
kind of a,
something that I may need to check into. You said it's called the Blight
okay.
Program, right?
Well, it's to help reduce or to get rid of dilapidated properties, like if houses on a property and it's not livable. And what they do is they go in, they tear down the house, the city acquires the property, a contractor borrows money to build a house. Hopefully, prior to building, they have identified potential buyers. And with that being said, is for instance, someone who say they want to buy a house but they are not sure yet. They could possibly link up with one of those, somebody through Mississippi Home Court can maybe give them the contractors who are building, and that be a more inroad to them getting a home versus just, waiting for something to pop up. They can make those connections up front.
Okay,
Um,
that's good information. I hadn't heard of that.
Yes, ma'am. But
Uh-huh.
Mississippi Home Court. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I'm very familiar with Mississippi Home Corps, but I hadn't heard of that program, so it's something that I'm going to look into.
Yes, ma'am.
That's good information.
Ask a question, Sister Dolores.
Did anyone else have any questions?
We have a hand raised from Lois Morgan.
I'm ready, Ms. Morgan.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
I was asking the question about the trust deeds. Do the companies do the trust deeds, like when you make out your deeds to your property?
Do who make out the deeds?
Uh,
You're basically saying that when you're closing on a house, do they make out a trust deed?
yes,
Okay, typically when you're buying a house,
a
you get
deed of trust.
deed. Hmm?
Yes, ma'am. That's what I was
Okay,
asking.
yeah. Typically when you're buying a house, you would get a
Mhm.
warranty deed, but that would probably be a legal question that you may want to ask the attorney about a trust deed. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. The trust deed covers other challenges. If you have somebody to challenge the property, the title in the property, you have challenges where they can't tie it up. And if you get a deed of trust, it's saying that no one else can tie it up in court.
Okay.
Maybe you haven't heard about the trust deed.
Right. I really don't get into that because we got attorneys that work with us that we allow them to take care of those things.
Oh, okay. All
Uh,
right. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
I don't want to give you any misleading information.
All right.
Hmm. But when the attorney does a title search when you're purchasing a home, you do get a warranty deed. So they want to be sure that there's no liens or judgments or anything against you, and then that's where the owner title policy comes into play, so that you'll be protected.
Okay.
Hmm.
So there's not a whole lot this federal funds for city limit property in the city limits.
There's funds available for if you're in the city limits. So there's grants available for you to get down payment assistance and possibly money for closing costs. So yeah, there's funds available if you're in the city limits. What I did mention is that the rural housing area, there's a 100% loan available for rural people that live in the rural housing area. But yes, there's money available for down payment assistance and for closing costs in the city limits. It depends on your income and if you qualify for it.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I don't know if I'm supposed to ask you this or not. Who do I ask? But I have a daughter who wants to purchase a home, and I
Uh-huh.
want to know how far out should she start setting aside money, and what percentage of her income should she start setting aside? She doesn't know exactly where she want to buy it, but she do know she wants to buy a house,
Okay.
purchase a
There,
home, because what she's living at now is really high. She's living in the projects, but because of her income, she's paying like 800 or more for living there. So what percentage? I mean, I don't know who to ask this, but what percentage should she be putting aside off her income? And does she do it for a couple of years, or what do you do? Because there's a lot of questions too when you first start off wanting to purchase a home that you don't know.
yeah. I don't think that anyone can tell you how much money to set aside when you get ready to purchase a home. I
Mhm.
would recommend her set aside as much as she can. So
Okay.
if which area is she live in?
What area she live in? It's in Columbus, Mississippi.
Oh, I see.
And
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but she
So
she wants to save as much money as she can. So you asked how much should she save each month? I can't say how much she would save each month, but I would recommend that she save as much as she feel that she can feel comfortable with saving
okay.
that money each month. So it's not going to hurt, because even if she purchased the home and she got the money saved up, if she don't use it, she can always have it there for a savings. So I would
That's
just recommend saving as much as she can.
okay. All
Uh,
right.
There's no percentage to say how much you should save each month.
There's no time frame, right? Like I think she wants to in a couple of years purchase a home.
Right, absolutely. So if it's a couple of years, just save as much as she can.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Brenda?
I would like to say that guide that you sent me, if Duke could make it available to, or you could send it to Duke and he can make it available to the other navigators. That's a wonderful guide, home buying guide. It got a
Okay.
lot of great information in it.
Oh,
So
yes.
if he could send that out to the others, that would be great.
That would be
Okay.
good.
Yes, I will. I'll send it to Duke. I'm glad it was helpful.
Yes, ma'am. Very
Uh-huh.
much so. You're very helpful.
Oh, well, thank you. And our upcoming meetings, we'll have some more loan officers to talk. I'll probably have another inspector to come on and talk. We'll have a home warranty guy to come. We'll get another termite inspector, people, pest control. We'll get some other people involved. It's just that today we didn't get a chance to get some more people involved. So we'll have some more people online. So you all have questions for them. They'll be coming soon in the next few months. But yes, I can definitely get that to do. Thomas, I'm
Now,
sorry.
with a new home purchase, I mean, a brand new home, what are some things, and I know this will probably come under one of those other professionals, but as a new home, because I was talking to a gentleman, he has a brand new house for sale, just built it. Is there anything in particular? Because somebody told us one time when you go into a house, turn all the water on, flush all the commodes, and see what happens. Yeah, I just want to know.
Okay, so your
It's kind of crazy, but
question
it's just so much that can happen.
okay, yeah. So your question is if you buy a new house, what should you be checking on? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay. I do recommend what you just said, going in and flushing the toilets and turning on the water. I would definitely do that. But what we do is that we recommend a new construction inspector to inspect a house prior to you taking possession. So in Mississippi, we got inspectors, we got home inspectors, and we got home inspectors that specialize in new construction. So I would recommend, highly recommend, before purchasing a new construction home, get a licensed new construction home inspector to inspect that house and see if everything is okay. Because I have seen some new construction that the inspectors have inspected, and they have found some things that you wouldn't expect to find in a new construction. So I would highly recommend a new construction inspector. But on the flip side, if you want to turn water on and flush toilets, I would do that too. So yes, but a new construction inspector should check it out. Did that answer your question, Brenda?
I'm sorry, this mic thing keeps going in and out. Yes, it did.
Okay.
Because I think, as you have mentioned so many times, the purchase of a home is one of the probably number one most important purchases you ever make. And then too, land don't move. So
Right.
once you get property, it's yours,
Mm-hmm.
until you leave here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's a great investment. I think we should be talking to young adults, talking to our teens early on about home purchase
Mm-hmm.
because and generational wealth is
Mm-hmm.
built up in what you purchase. So when it's something like that, I'm not talking about just buying cars and stuff, but those types of things, a home, some type of investment that will continue to grow and to continue to build. Because God forbid, we want to make sure that our children have a good handle of understanding the importance of having something that is truly worthwhile.
Absolutely. And then it increased in value, as the market gets increase in value. And I'll give you a example of that is that houses that I sold back in 2008 and 9 when the market crashed, those houses now that was possibly I sold them for like $60,000. Now they're selling for like $200,000. So you're getting equity in your home, and that's just like money in the bank is what your value equity is when it's increasing. The value is increasing in your home. It's just like money in the bank. If you had to refinance, you could cash out. You could get the money for different purposes. Of course, you would have a mortgage, but it's a easy way for people to do some home improvements, to get extra money to pay bills, to if you had this dream vacation, take a dream vacation, and not have to pay so much money back, especially for refinancing, and you including in there. Sometimes you can refinance, get the cash out, and then use the cash and not pay any difference of what you was previously paying on your mortgage payment. So it's like money in the bank. Generational wealth, equity is just it's good to have.
I have two more questions. I
Okay.
remember one time asking about if you wanted to build and you needed to purchase land. I
Mhm.
believe before the gentleman said, or maybe the lady from the bank, just put it all in one, the land purchase and the home purchase. That's the first question. If you could
Mhm.
address something about that. The other one is when it comes to building a house, is that basically whatever the ordinance of the city or the area you build in? Because some areas, like I know, there's a limit as to what you can put on a property, what size you can put on a property.
Okay, yeah. So there are covenant and restrictions for what you can build in different locations. So yes, you do have to abide by the rule of the city of wherever you're building at. So there is rules and regulations as to what you can build, how big of a house you can build, and what can be built on the property. So that there's regulations for that. And in reference to the loan for the land and the building of the house, you can combine it in one, or you can buy the land and then get a new construction loan and build the house. It just depends on what a person can do in reference to if you can pay cash for the land and then get a builder to come in and build it, or if you wanted to refinance it, the land, not refinance it, but combine it all together, the land, the new construction, and at the end take a permanent mortgage loan out of it. So all can be combined into one.
Now, this is kind of like a little hot question here. Is there any particular area that's really booming with home building right now?
Um, are you in the you in the DeSoto County area?
No, ma'am. I'm South Mississippi.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so and I'm just familiar with the DeSoto County area, Tate County area. So all of those locations are booming with new constructions right now. So there's a in this area. Now the place that you all may be from, I may not be familiar with those areas. But new construction is on the rise. Seems like everything is everything is continuing to progress. We just don't see the rates coming down like we would like to see the rates come down. That would be really good if we see interest rates coming down. However, we believe they're coming down soon. So that's coming. That's going to be something that we'll be having a conversation with in the future to talk about the rates going down. If once that happens, so that we can be sure to get the word out to everyone, and especially people that have possibly bought houses while the rates was a little bit high. They get the opportunity to refinance and lower their mortgage payment. I may have mentioned it to you all that when I bought my house, I bought it at a 6% interest rate. And when President Obama was president, he came in and he made some changes. And I got a call from my bank to ask me if I wanted to refinance to get the lower rate. And I said yes. And only thing I had to do was say yes. I didn't have to do anything else. And I saved $400 a month on my mortgage payment. So that's the reason why I'm always so excited to tell people that, if rates drop, be sure to refinance. A lot of people don't want to refinance because they think it's damaging to them, but it can be a benefit to you. And if you can
Amen.
save as much as, I save $400, but even you can save 200 or $100, that's still good, So every little bit of savings is a help. And that's what we want to do, is help people to save.
I want to say something. Earlier, one of my team members asked about how much should you save, but I was thinking about something, not necessarily addressing her question directly, but if you're paying rent and you factor in the fact that if I'm paying, say, $1,000 a month for rent, and I'm looking to purchase a home, and let's say I have an idea about, the neighborhood, about what I want to purchase, in the way of a home. Well, you can factor in the fact that if you can afford to pay that thousand, that 800, $1,000, that's like part of your house payment. So when you get ready to set aside whatever you're setting aside, you factor that in. Let's say you were able to save 300. That's like having $1,300 or $1,100 towards your house payment. So I was thinking, is that a good way to think about that?
I think it is. I really do. I think that's a really good way. It's just that um, each individual will have to be determined, what's more important and how they would save up that money. But I think that's a great idea to think of it like that. So
I'm
maybe
just
that'll help answer her question as to how much she should save. But it's going to be on an individual basis as to how much a person would save. But that's a great illustration what you said.
And I can't wait till those rates come down.
I can't wait either, because I want to just call people and tell them to refinance.
Because my mom, she retired at the tender age of, like, I think mom was about, she was up in age when she retired from the school system. And she was like older than 70 when she purchased her new house.
Hmm.
And she lived there for over 20 years before her demise. Is still there. And the family, of course, is inheriting it. But I just want to say to anyone out there, don't let people talk you down from purchasing a home, because we're not going to take anything with us when we leave here anyway. But
Right.
the satisfaction of having that, that's yours while
Hmm.
you're here.
That's
That's
right.
your safe haven.
Hmm. That is absolutely true. And there is no restriction, no age restriction as to how old you can be to buy a house. If you got a grandparent of 80, 90 years old, they can still buy a house. So nobody cannot restrict you from buying a house based on the age. And I've seen some elderly that has bought houses knowing that they was going to buy them for their grandkids or their children's, just so that they could get them in a home, and knowing that they may not, be there for a long time, but it's generational wealth is the way they looked at it.
So I'm trying not to dominate, but I just thought about something. I like to do things, calculate things in my mind a certain way. So first step, of course, is making sure you building your credit or having a good credit score. And then, of course, looking at your finances, having a budget even. Just say, okay, this is how much money I am expected to have. And then creating a plan, a financial plan to approach what you want. Set a goal. And I think it's wonderful that her daughter is going to be now thinking, I mean, because I know her daughter, she's a very lovely young lady. And we need to encourage that in our young adults. Oh, so
Right.
much.
Absolutely. Brenda, was you finished talking?
Yes, I'm trying not to dominate because I'm just excited. I am so excited. I've been sharing this program with us. I shared it on the radio today to go to
Okay.
Get Covered Mississippi and scroll down. And so I have several people I've shared it with the pastor because his parishioners, they need to know this.
Uh-huh.
For so a long time, there are certain individuals in our society who was restricted from even thinking about having a home. And I don't have to go into no details, but I just want people to know you're free to do this. you can do, you can do this.
Yeah, you can do this. And then the beauty of it too is that you can buy a house anywhere you want to. There's
Yes.
no restrictions on where you can buy a house.
I like President Obama said, yes, we can.
That's right.
And I'm saying, yes, we can.
And
We can
yeah.
do this.
So we
I
really,
mean, it's a wonderful thing.
it would be really good to encourage young people to buy houses. You know, there's no limit. You know, it's just you know, you just have to get prepared to purchase. So prepare, prepare, prepare. And that means save up money, being sure that your credit score is in good shape and doing what you need to do to get prepared. And then the home buying process can be very easy. I've had some clients that I've sold houses to, and they'll say, you made this so easy. And I was like, no, I didn't make this easy. You made this easy. When you go through a process and it's go flawless, that's that buyer. And that's what we want. We want people to prepare, prepare, prepare. Get their credit scores up to par, save up money, and be ready to move forward when they get pre-approved.
Is they gonna start doing businesses, building for businesses? Oh, she was asking about building for businesses. Who would they consult with about a business? Want to build a business building, I guess.
Yeah, she would want to probably talk with a commercial builder.
Now, again, one of the things that I think about sometimes too is that in purchasing a home, the time frame from the day you say, okay, sign that little what is it you call it when you find a property that you want
You're gonna sign
and
an offer.
right, and you offer that from the beginning to the end, what's a typical time frame? I was told about you can expect 30 to 45 days.
That's absolutely right. So basically what she said is that when you get ready to close on a house, so you're doing your new home search, and of course you don't stop your home search until you found the house that you really, really like and you know that, you know, this is where I want to be. Then you'll make an offer on the house. And when you make an offer on the house, the seller can accept it, reject it, or counter back. So accept it means that they accept your offer. Reject it means that they're rejecting your offer. Countering back is saying, we won't accept this, but we'll accept that. So that you're in your negotiation period. Once you complete your negotiation period and you can come to an agreement, which means that all party has signed the contract. Now you presented an offer. Now you're under contract. Once you sign the contract, from the time that you sign your contract to closing, it's usually 30 to 45 days. So things that happen during that 30 to 45 days is that once you sign your contract, then you're going to pay your earnest money. Earnest money is good faith money. So you got to have some money. Good faith money can be anywhere from 500 to 1,000, $2,000. That's good faith money for a seller to be committed to taking the house off the market and selling it to you. That's when you see a house is pending, that someone has paid their good faith money, their earnest money. And then after the earnest money in Mississippi, you got 10 days to get the house inspected. So that's when you want to get a licensed inspector to inspect your house, whether it be new construction. If it's new construction, you still want to get it inspected. We do highly recommend that you always get a house inspected before you purchase a home. And the inspector is actually working for you. A home inspector may charge anywhere from $300, $400, $500, but they're going in to inspect a house to tell you the details of what you're buying. That's the purpose of the inspection. The inspection is not going in so that you can give the seller a long list of repairs, which of course that may happen, but he's there to tell you what you're buying so you can know if you want to buy this house, if you don't want to buy the house. So the inspection, once the inspection is over, then you may negotiate some of the repairs. So if he does find some things that is wrong with the house, you can negotiate them. Or if he finds something drastically wrong, then you can back out of the contract if there's something wrong with the inspection. So that's something there to protect you. But if all is well with the inspection, then the next process is that the lender is going to send the appraisal. So the appraisal goes out to tell you what the house values. So the appraisal, he's inspecting the house, but not like a licensed inspector. He's going out just to be sure everything is there the way it's supposed to be. Your central heat, your air, the windows and everything is working properly. So he's doing just a minimum inspection, but he's going out to tell you what the value of the property. So once the appraisal goes out, tell you what the value is. You got the closing attorney that's doing the legal part of it. That's the one that's doing the title search. And then in the background, the lender is doing their portion too. So all of that takes about 30 to 45 days. And then after 30 to 45 days, if all is good, you'll get a clear to close, and you go to the closing table and you get your keys. And one thing is that we do mention is that sometime, and getting your keys is exciting, but sometime you may not get your key the same day that you close. So we always try to prepare our buyers to know that if you're going to have movers coming, schedule them the day after closing so that you have adequate time and that you won't be disappointed if you didn't get your keys right then, and you're going to get them maybe the next morning. But it's key time.
So if I want to be at a house by Christmas, I need to be ready to start my process in October.
If you want to buy a house,
Be
yeah, if you want
be in the house by Christmas.
Christmas, be in the
I
house.
need to
Yes,
start the
yeah,
process
yes,
by October 1st
that
of
is
November
yes,
at the
that's
latest.
correct.
Wow. So we got a time frame. This
Okay,
has been
good.
awesome. You're such a knowledgeable person. I'm telling everybody about you, by the way, and I don't care who knows it. I'm telling it.
Well, thank you. And we'll have some more people to come on to have some more open discussions with the lenders and everybody. So y'all can look forward to that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Did anybody else have any questions before we get off?
I said, thank you. You answered my question.
Tell who you are.
I'm
Okay.
Dolores Moy.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dolores.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Carol Jackson. Thank you. Okay, Thomas, I think we're going to end the meeting. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, okay?
Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks, Ms. Area Mays, for giving such an insightful webinar today. And we will be back in the month of August with
Yeah.
the Let's Talk Real Estate with Area Mays. So stay tuned for the date, and we will see you then. Until next time, everybody.